Good evening. My name is Thomas Zakaria, as you already know. And listening to today's forum, when me and my colleague actually walked in, we are from a completely different work. We were just trying to figure out, yeah, Binu, will we understand what they're going to talk? It's going to be very technical and all that. But coming here, actually, it opened a lot of things. It's very logical, common sense, basic, things which can really make things happen. The future looks good. So I'm going to just take you away slightly from what we're discussing. And I really like what AI can't, represent is emotion, somebody said. And I completely believe that, but I hope something else comes up which is going to help us to make things better. So pride to educate. So I'll try and put things together with small stories. So Pride to Education is, Educate is an organization which raises fund to educate the underprivileged children. That's what we do. And how this is formed is, it's basically three like-minded people came together and thought we can make a change. So to be very honest, my colleague Binu Verghese, who is already there. Binu, could you please stand up? So that's Binu. Binu has been in this, he's been working with street kids from last 30 years. We passed out together from Symbiosis, and from the time he's done his post-graduation, he's done is to work with street kids. Okay, he's been going to slums, speaking to their parents, trying to pull the kids out, giving them education. That's what he's done. In fact, his entire family, in fact, his wife is also working with street children, especially the rack pickers. All those kids are now close to 20 years old. Somebody is trying to pursue as a doctor, somebody is trying to pursue as a nurse. There are a lot of success stories which keeps us motivated. And there's another colleague of ours called Alok Anand. So he's got a heart of giving. So again, we work together in Modi Xerox, and then we, that's again in 95, 2000. And then we later figured out that there's a lot of common purpose we have, so we came together and we formed this organization. This organization is as young as 15 months. That's it, right? And what keeps us going is, like the legend said, education can bring a lot of gap, right? So it can also bring down the poverty, but the basic thing what is required is education. Once that thing is in place, and a lot of things will fall into place. For example, we have seen success stories where a kid who is heading one of the vertical for Barclays, who was pulled out from street, who tried to run away from the home where he was put up, pulled back, and now is heading one of the verticals for Barclays. We have a doctor who is practicing in UK now, who came to one of the NGOs which we were supporting when she was 6 years old. She's from Nepal, and she's a now successful doctor. So when you look at all this kind of success stories, it motivates. It just opens up because everything is possible, like an AI. Everything is possible. You just need to try and identify what needs to be done for them. So the way we go about it is we try and identify NGOs who has all the purpose, all the integrity, everything in place, right? There are a lot of them out there. And we try and reach the kids through them, because raising fund, there are a lot of NGOs out there who are struggling, right? So we're trying to identify the one which are struggling, who need some kind of support, who has got the right integrity, documents, everything is in place. And we try and raise fund and try and support the kids whom they're handling by providing, covering the cost of the education. So that's what we do. These are the numbers which you're already aware of. I won't take too much of time. Our population is close to around 145 crore. Out of that, 25 crore are below the basic definition of the literacy. And out of that, we are currently handling 73 kids only. That's the small patch. But I'm not trying to pitch ourselves here. What I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of organizations like us which is out there in the field who are trying to do something, okay, and they need kind of support which will motivate them or drive them to try and figure out how to bring in this resource so that we can bring in the gap of the education. So there are a lot of them. So that's what we handle. We close to around 73 kids is what we handle. So we don't, there's no sympathy. There's a lot of time, we, as I said, we spread empathy through education. No point in, see, everyone sitting here, very honestly, feels for those kids. There's nobody who doesn't feel, right? So what we're trying to do is to, rather than feeling sympathy, we're trying to go to whether catch hold of these kids, try and bring in required funds and educate these kids. Increase donation through the chosen NGOs. As I said, what we do is we have NGOs which we have identified, and there are 3 projects which I'll talk about. And we try and, as I said, we raise funds and we route it through them so that the money can reach the right kid, and we try and monitor their progress and all that. That's what we do. And help the children in the basic education. So, which are these NGOs? So there is one project which is happening in a place called Baramati, which is close to Pune. These are RHWPP, it's the whole house is called. This actually started focusing on trying to develop alternate skills for the red light area, okay, for the sex workers. The only way they could come out was once they have the confidence that their kids are safe. So they started a home where they moved their kids to a safer environment, and then so that the sex workers can come out. So RHWPP completely focuses on the kids who are been rescued from the red light area, and they're providing shelter, and we try and, whatever the need for the education is, what are the costs is, we route whatever we generate to RHWPP. It's based in Baramati. They have 40 plus kids over there. The another one is called Straight Arrow Foundation. Now this is again a very motivating story. A very new organization. The founder was basically, himself was an orphanage. He was brought up in Kota, right? He survived through bad phases, and he was brought up by one of the orphanages in Kota. He came back, he decided he wanted to give back, he's married, he's got his own kid. Now he is running a girl home, shelter in Pune city. Now there are close to around 6 kids over there, plus 2 of his own, 8 kids, and they have a capacity to go up to 20. So we are trying to see what is the best we can do. So this is one of the projects we are working on. And third is in, it's called Imagine India. So one of the projects, what they have is, these kids are not in orphanage or anywhere. Okay? They stay with their parents. Obviously, very difficult situation, the poverty levels and all that. So what we are trying to, but they go to school, but they need tuitions. So the project over there is, we have organized the tuition teacher, okay, and we're funding the tuition teacher. So close to around 23 kids are there. So, so this is how 3 projects we are working. We want to get into a lot of them, but slowly this is how we are building up. So that's Imagine. How do we raise funds? The entire day I've been sitting and watching. You guys are talking about really, working smart, which I also completely agree. And that's what I've done when I was on last assignment, when I was in Indian Express in 2017. That's what we used to do. But यहाँ पे completely अलग है. We still have to reach that situation. We have come down to 0. So the way we do it is, we cycle. Okay, we cycle long distance. So far, I have done 5 such projects so far. Technically, Pride to Educate was from when we did one of my favorites ride, that is Srinagar to Khardungla. Yes, I'm a finisher. I've gone up to cycling up to 18,000 feet. If I have to show off, I will say that, yes, I've done that. So what happens is when I cycle, it's crowdfunding is happening. So all the connect of mine and my colleagues, they fund, they keep donating. And whatever money we generate is what we use for our project. So currently, this is how we are generating. The next one is going to be from Goa to Bangalore. Why Goa? Because that's where I stay. So that's going to be from 12th of December. So that's another project we are going to be, and we want to raise funds. The methodology is going to be the same. So the point I'm trying to make is, it is still a tough time, okay? The 6th ride which we're going to do. I myself, I won't say I'm old, I'm 53, but at the same time, I'm aware I'm not young. So even, we have a limited period where we'll have to try and see what are the other opportunities or other methodology, other ways of bringing in funds so that it can become more sustainable, right? So next slide is going to be at that. We wanted to launch this. So I want to take this opportunity here for you, especially because thanks Vinod and Strateging for giving us the opportunity to speak so that we can connect with you. We would like you to go and share, if you all are, some of you are decision maker, we would like to get support from the organization to come forward and support in any form of a CSR activity. So please share our story with the organization. We can come and connect with you wherever possible. We want to get into this because there are basic rules which are there, but as I said, as the data and that's how the AI is formed. But there are processes which are there which says you need to do minimum of 3 years of work and show balance sheet to get CSR, to get empaneled in the CSR. That's the standard process. So I'm trying to figure out, boss, is there any way of deviation? We are ready, we are CSR certified. If any organization wants to connect with us, or we are keen to connect with them in any form of CSR format, we are ready to do that. So that will make slightly more. Idea is to raise that number from 73 to 100 and 100 to 1,000 and 1,000 to 2,000 so that we can reach as many kids as possible and try and create this impact. So that's it. Join us in this revolution. Join us in the entire effort. It's not one organization or one individual or 3 individuals does this. It's all effort which all of us have to put together. If you really have to look at yourself, for you and your kids to be safe, it's very important the environment is safe. Let's make our environment safe. And the only way it can happen is education. We've seen the success story. Thank you so much for your time, and I've already taken enough time. I think the break is ready for you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.